Hello, hello. If we haven't met yet, I'm Carri Richard. I'm a mindset coach helping achievers, high achievers, make space and enjoy the ride. And today we are diving into something I've talked about for years, which is space. And what does it mean to make space? Why does it matter? How can understanding space, both within us and around us, lead to powerful transformations in our lives? So let's explore it together. People ask, what do you mean, make space? Well, we're going to talk a little bit about that today and really talk about the topic of space and why it's important. So, we live in a physical world and do not always even know or are aware that we are like 97% space. So, and not only do we take up this space, like that, our physical, what you see, like these boundaries, we don't just take up this space. We actually take up a field of space around us. There's an electromagnetic field around us as well. So, my hope today is just to open up the idea of space, not only within yourself, but around yourself, and for the reason of when we become responsible for that space, when we become conscious of what we put into that space, we can really make some major transformations in our own life, in our relationships, in many different aspects, and enjoy the ride that much more. So, oh gosh, I could talk about all kinds of topics about space, but I'm going to keep it to just a few. I just learned a new aspect of space over the last couple of weeks. My father passed about 2 weeks ago, actually. Yep, about 2 weeks ago. And by God's grace, I got to be present to to the transition of him passing. So for the last couple weeks of his life, all my siblings and myself were there to be with him. We had a lot of family, and it was really quite a wonderful space that was created to just honor this man as he made his transition. And you know, over time, his body just really started breaking down. He was almost 92, so he had very full life, and his body was not in it anymore. And so there was some suffering involved, some pain involved at the end. And all of the siblings have all had conversations with them like, it's okay to go. Thank you so much. Just kind of putting into the space between us of, it's all right. Thank you. We love you. And it's okay. And he continued to hang on. And a dear friend who I talked to had given a new idea that was maybe he doesn't want to pass with you guys. And I had never thought of that. In my mind, we'd all be gathered around and say, thank you, and that's what it would look like. And so I talked to my siblings, and we decided to give him some space for a short time. And when we did that, that was what he needed. That was what that was the space that he needed to transition. So often, so we have these physical bodies, we have these what looks like the barriers. Again, we have a container around us, a field around us that is also our space. And to know that there's actually a biological, like when we're in proximity with each other, there is a thing called co-regulation. There is biological things that are going on based on like proximity. And so my encouragement to you is to be really curious about what you put into any space. I talk with clients and talk to other people about being conscious of what we bring into like the inputs that we have. Some we have choice over, some we don't have choice over, right? But we do have the ability to choose positive things or things that fulfill us, interesting things. We also to be aware of what we put into a space by the words we speak. They're so very powerful. And I do a workshop all about the words we speak. And if you're interested, just comment because I'll be doing it again soon. But back to space. Even an intention when you enter, we're in transition, right? So it's not only the space that we are in, but also the space that we enter into or exit from. I talk about conscious transition. So if I'm coming home from work, although I work here, if I'm finishing work and I transition out into my home, I get to choose who I am or how I transition into that space. And it can make all the difference in the world. I don't know about you, but I have definitely had a tough thing happen at work, and without conscious transition, I will take that thing and I will bring it to everybody else who lives here. And we get to choose. We get to choose. There's also space of how do we talk to ourselves, right? What do we put into our own space? What do we put into our mouths? How much do we sleep? What kind of movement do we give our bodies? All of these things. And when we're in relation with somebody, like I said, we have co-regulation. There was a coach who talked about I hear in Oprah Winfrey's green room, there's a sign that says, "You are responsible for the energy you bring." And guess what? It is spot on. So my encouragement to you is to take a look at space in a new way. If you'd like to know more or you have questions about this concept of space, making space, being responsible for the space, all of these things, please reach out to me. I would love to, we can talk more about it. So thank you for sharing this space with me today. My hope is that you walk away with a fresh perspective on the space that you hold and how you fill it. If this resonated with you or if you have questions, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment, reach out, and let's keep the conversation going. And as always, be intentional, be present, and enjoy the ride. Until next time.